but at the moment, of course, it's India who've got up, and we need to go down to the presentation. Aaron Lowell's down there, and we'll find out who the man of the match is, chat to the captains, and also find out who the most stylish player was.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the presentation ceremony of the Compact Cup Tri-Series, the second ODI, New Zealand versus India. In the presentation party today, we have from left to right, Mr. Vinay Awasthi. He is the Director, Desktop Systems, Personal Systems Group, Hewlett-Packard India, representing the title sponsor. Thank you very much, sir. Then we have Mr. Indika Dizoisa, Country Business Manager, Intel Sri Lanka. Mr. Sanjay Singh, the Marketing Manager, Intel Asia Pacific and Japan. Mr. Jerome Jayaratna, he is the Head of Coaching, Sri Lanka Cricket. Mr. Ken D'Alvis, he is the Chairman, Umpiring Committee, Sri Lanka Cricket. Mr. Ravi De Silva, Chairman, Tournament Committee, Sri Lanka Cricket. And Mr. R.M. Srivastava, he is the First Secretary of the High Commission of India. And of course, Mr. Tilak Dizoisa, he's the Chairman, Associated Motorways PLC, sole distributors of Yamaha in Sri Lanka. To start, let me invite Daniel Vittori, please. Dan, disappointing, not quite enough runs on the board.
Yeah, I think so. I think when you win the toss here, you want to put a competitive total, and whilst it was a tricky wicket, I think if we could have got around that 200 mark, then it would have been a lot more competitive, and unfortunately we just fell short in that department.
Very disappointing, so many starts, so many 20s, and nobody carried on, so that must be soul-destroying for you.
Yeah, it is, because I think the wicket got easier once you played yourself in, and I found that myself, and I think all the guys who got out in those 20s were pretty disappointed. So I think we saw how to do it again from Dhoni and Raina near the end there, where they got themselves in and then were able to play some shots, but the whole way through we just put ourselves under pressure with the bat.
There was a little hope at about 80 odd for 4, and they just took it away, Dhoni and Raina.
Yeah, I mean, they're aggressive batsmen, and they know how to play in these conditions, and they really showed us how to do it. Didn't quite have enough firepower just to get that 5th and 6th wicket to put some pressure on the tail, but it wasn't a bad fight back from us, and we put them under some pressure, so got to take some good things out of the bowling.
Any lessons learned?
Yeah, I think so. I think you just got to adapt to conditions. You can't expect to play on good wickets all the time. Whenever you come up against these tough decks, you still got to turn up and play and not worry about it and try and get the result. And in these last 2 games, we haven't.
And anything you'd like to say to Sri Lanka? You've had a long tour.
Yeah, it's been good fun. I think it's been a difficult tour for us. We've had a lot of ups and downs, but I think a lot of our guys will be better for the experience. We've been very well looked after, so I thank everyone involved in Sri Lankan cricket.
Thanks, Dan, and hope you have a good coming Champions Trophy.
Thank you very much.
So that was Daniel Vittori, captain of New Zealand. And now I'd like to invite MS Dhoni, please. Mahendra Singh Dhoni, captain of India. Will you collect the check first, please? Yes, thank you. US dollars 2,000 from Mr. Vinay Awasthi. He's the Director, Personal Systems Group, Hewlett-Packard. 2,000 US dollars for the winning captain. Big smile, Mahendra. You broke the jinx after 11 straight wins for the team batting first.
Well, of course, and frankly speaking, when we lost the toss, we never thought the wicket will behave like that. It was more of a second inning wicket. If you see now, it was not really coming onto the bat. The spinners, they were spinning the ball from the very first delivery that they bowled. So we knew the wicket, it can't get worse than that. So we wanted to get them out as cheaply as possible. So Ashish Nehra did the job, early breakthroughs on a wicket like this, and RP also got a wicket. After that, Yuvraj Singh, the new find, you can say, is bowling really well. He bowls up to the batsman, invites them to drive. So that has been the success mantra for him. And odd bat balls, he gets a wicket also. So that's really good. And apart from that, I think batting wise, Sachin gave us the kind of start. He carried his inning through, not till the end, but still in 150, 155 odd runs. You need 2-3 partnerships, and that's more than enough. I think Raina also batted well with me.
Now, coming after a break for about 2 months, what was your mindset? Were you rejuvenated? Were you slightly tense?
Well, it's fair enough to say we were a bit tense, because international cricket is all about that. Because if you're not tense on the day of the game, more often than not, you're not really prepared for the game. So it was good. Everybody was a bit tense, you can say slightly, but the kind of start that we got, from the bowlers, we were up for it after that. And I think it was a bit challenging. A few players played their shot, but it didn't really work. And that has been the strength. We always want to be aggressive on the field because we have characters who can play around the innings, and because of which you can say we have players who can really strike and get after the bowlers.
Fantastic bowling performance by your team, but at 84 for 4, few jitters.
Well, of course, it's tough with Daniel Vittori bowling, and I think they lacked one spinner. The kind of part-timers that we have got, UV really did the job for us. So, if there was one more spinner in their side who was doing as well as UV, definitely would have been under pressure. But thanks, they never really had that, and they had to manage with the seamers, seamer bowlers. It was not easy to score, but at the same time, the score was not really big. So we had time to rotate and, pick up the deliveries that were bowled short, that was not really in the right area.
Okay, now I have to ask you this question. We all talk about number one. How much of mind space does it occupy in your mind and the team?
Well, frankly speaking, we are not really thinking about that because, rankings and ratings, they take care of themselves if you're doing well on the field, and, that's what we wanted to do, in this tournament. When we turned up for the first game today, we just wanted to concentrate on what we are doing on the field. So, we never thought about being the number one team. Everybody wants to be there, but, we know if you take care of good cricket and play good cricket, eventually you will be the number one side in the world.
Thanks, MS. A terrific beginning by you and your team. Well done.
Thanks a lot.
That was Mahendra Singh Dhoni, captain of India. And now, there is an award for the highest scorer, the Intel highest scorer award of US dollars 1,000 to be given by Mr. Indika de Zoysa. And Sachin Tendulkar it is for today's highest scorer award for a very well compiled 46 of 55 deliveries. On a difficult wicket, he was stroking extremely well. Well played, Sachin. And now, the Compact Cup Man of the Match award, that is US dollars 1,500 to be given by Mr. Sanjay Singh, and the trophy by Mr. Jerome Jayarathne. And the man of the match for today's game is Ashish Nehra. Ashish Nehra, 3 for 24. 2 wickets at the top. Adjudged the man of the match for today's game. 1,500 US dollars by Mr. Sanjay Singh. And a trophy from Mr. Jerome Jayarathne. Ashish, a word, please. First of all, terrific performance by you, coming in after a bit of a layoff. Did the run-up help? Did you have any match practice before this?
I mean, not really. I mean, from last 2 months, we had a good off. Before that, yeah, I was playing in West Indies and just I had a good IPL. So, yeah, in good rhythm.
Yeah, now, 2005 is when you lost your space in the team. You really worked hard. And it's been a lot of hard work and tears and blood and sweat and whatever. So very satisfying for you to be standing here today, Ashish.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, obviously, because of the injuries, I was struggling from last few years. But now I'm back on track from last 6, 7, 8 months. I really worked hard for that, and it's paying off to me now.
Well, you've been a role model in the sense that you fought your way back, and a lot of youngsters watching would like to emulate you. Very well done. Any thoughts? Were you a little nervous before going in?
Not really. Like I said, I'm bowling well from last 6, 7 months and had a good IPL and then West Indies. So I was quite confident bowling in the nets from last 6, 7 weeks. Good rest we got. So I was quite confident. I just wanted to bowl good line and length, and it helped.
Today, were you concentrating on line and length? So we didn't see too many balls going haywire. So very much on the dot.
Yeah, I mean, just important thing was to just pick up early wickets, and it worked out for us. So after that, I was just trying to bowl good on line on length, and like everybody knows, there's not too much of movement, especially in Premadasa afternoon. So more or less like